Sunset over America's Great Plains. As night falls, the fields of wheat, silphium, and kernza come alive, erupting in song. You can lose yourself in the evening insect melodies. But unlike other fields across the Midwest, the grains growing at the Land Institute in Salina, Kansas, will not end up in the breads, oil, cereals, and baked goods. At least, not for now.
I know it looks kind of like wheat. But
yeah, it does.
This is kernza, the intermediate wheatgrass.
Tim Cruz is a research scientist. Cruz and the other researchers are trying to change 10,000 years of agricultural practices.
How we farm right now, we rely on a highly disturbed ecosystem.
When you say that, what do you mean highly disturbed ecosystem?
Well, when you have an ecosystem that you have to literally kill every single plant on the landscape on an annual basis in order to restart it, recrop it, all sorts of things happen.
Bad things like soil erosion and nutrient runoff that pollutes rivers and lakes. So the researchers here are reinventing farming using nature's model, the prairie. Here you find a diversity of vegetation that grows year after year, and most importantly, preserves the soil. The idea is straightforward. Take the grains we eat that must be planted, harvested, and replanted every year, and change them from annuals to perennials, which can be grown and harvested for multiple years. In essence, reinventing how crops are grown.
I don't think farmers will have a difficult time adopting them. Imagine if you don't have to replant every year, and if you don't have as many tractor passes, and you don't have to buy as many inputs. What's there not to like?
The thing is, the farmers aren't dumb. So let's start with who won't be interested in perennial polycultures. Number one, the seed houses. They won't be selling as many seeds. Number two, the fertilizer people. Number three, the pesticide industry.
Wes Jackson founded the Land Institute 40 years ago. He says 30 million acres a year are lost globally to land degradation. Jackson believes the development of perennial grains is perhaps the only way to save farmland from washing and blowing away at a time when the world's population is ballooning, at a time when we need farmland more than ever before.
We've got so many problems, and that humanity will not survive if it doesn't have the soils. Dust to dust. It's an old statement.
Jackson knew his idea made all kinds of good sense. He also knew it wouldn't be easy getting there. 50 to 100 years, he said. How do you think the progress has been?
Well, I think we're ahead of schedule.
So it's closer to 50 than 100?
Yeah. Yeah.
The problem is, no one is quite sure how much closer. In a field, researchers and university graduate students are harvesting perennial wheat in development. From here, it goes to the laboratory for study. It's measured for size. The wheat heads are put into a thresher to separate out the seeds. Each run is tagged and bagged for study. The DNA is analyzed to find the strongest, hardiest genes, and which is responsible for the ever-critical perennial trait. Even soil samples, thousands of them, are sent out for analysis. Xuan Wang leads the wheat team. How many years do you think it will be before you'll have a perennial wheat that would be ready for market?
It's hard to say. It's hard to say. A regular breeding process takes more than 10 years.
Wang is collaborating with scientists in his native China.
The region in North China is, has the severest soil erosion in the world. After wheat or corn are harvested, the soil is uncovered. Wind or heavy rain can take away the topsoil.
There, teams of researchers in several provinces are working with the Land Institute to develop both perennial wheat and rice. It's promising, but a slow go. Scientists are struggling with one major stumbling block in their efforts to develop a perennial wheat they can bring to market. The problem is, the wheat wants to bloom year-round. That, Xuan Wang says, is not good. The plants are far more susceptible to extreme cold and heat. There are other issues too. Getting perennial wheat to produce as much as its cousin, the annual. And then there's the issue that matters most to all of us, flavor. How about the taste of perennial wheat? Is it different than the annual wheat that we're all used to?
I think it's acceptable if you don't care much about the texture.
Wang's is just one of many grain hybrid and breeding projects. Breakthroughs would be immediate game changers, the scientists say, for many parts of the world.
But if you're on the slopes of Bolivia or in the Yunnan province of China, or many regions around the world that people farm drastic landscapes, it will help them a great deal.
A summer morning thunderstorm has drenched the fields. Researcher David Van Tassel is checking on his silphium crop. Someday he believes these plants will produce vegetable oil. One of the advantages of perennials like silphium is a massive root system, allowing them to get water, even when it hasn't rained in a long while.
They're able to get moisture from many feet down in the soil. So I've seen these go through 2 years of drought and pretty much look unfazed.
For the scientists like Van Tassel, the frustration is the pace. It is, pardon the pun, like watching grass grow. Selective breeding and then rebreeding year after year, trying to improve the yields and the number of years the plants will survive in the fields.
No, time's not on our side, but we're optimistic that we have enough time to make a difference.
Time has been wasted, Wes Jackson says. Time that could have been spent changing the way we feed the world and preserving the land. Land that he believes has been largely ignored, rarely if ever the world's priority. When Jackson speaks of the land, it's almost poetic.
We got to settle in and realize that this particular ecosphere, and I say ecosphere, that miraculous, creative skin within which we are embedded, is where our future lies.
The scientists here say it will likely be a decade or more before they have real products that can be grown on a mass scale. Grains that can, as they see it, revolutionize agriculture. But after 10,000 years of growing it the old way, waiting another decade or two is really not that much of a wait. As Wes Jackson sees it, you've got to have more than just optimism.
There's an old saying among the hippies, be realistic, expect a miracle.